What's up, internet? Welcome to Leg Life. In today's video, I'm going to share a family secret with you. Today, I'm going to share with you my great-grandmother Lavilla Legs recipe for refrigerator bread and butter sweet pickles. Growing up, this was one of my absolute favorite snacks, favorite treats. Still to this day, it is absolutely delicious. And not only is it delicious, it is super simple. So I'm going to show you how to make them. Let's go. So the first thing you're going to need is about a gallon of cucumbers. Now we bought pickling cucumbers at the farmer's market today, so we've got those there. You're going to use about 3 medium-sized onions. Also picked those up at the farmer's market. We have 4 cups of white sugar. I did not say this was a healthy recipe. 4 cups of white vinegar. 3 teaspoons of mustard seed. 1 1/3 teaspoon of turmeric. 3 teaspoons of celery seed. And then 1/3 cup of plain table salt. The first thing that we are going to do actually is chop up the cucumbers and the onions. I am going to use, for the cucumbers, I have a mandolin here. It's got the little crinkle pickle attachment. So we're gonna cut those up, and then we're gonna put them just in a container, kind of like this. Any large gallon container will work. So you want them to be about this thick, and you can't really see it on camera, but they have an awesome little crinkle cut. Now we're going to cut the rest of them. Now you could cut all these by hand, but if you have a mandolin, this is going to make cutting a gallon of cucumbers a lot easier. So we have quite a few of the cucumbers done. We're going to now add them to our container. You'll see we have probably half our container filled with the cucumbers. And now what we're gonna do actually is cut up some onions, so we kind of layer cucumber and onion. All right, you can see we got a bunch of onions chopped up in there. Now we're gonna do the rest of the cucumbers. You wanna be careful when using the mandolin because you want it only to have cucumbers, but there is a real danger to get some bits of finger in there if you go too low. Now we're gonna cut up the rest of our onion. You actually wanna leave your onion kind of in bigger pieces. So what I do is I just actually stack them up and cut them in half like that. But what you're gonna end up with is a container that looks something like this. See, cucumbers and onions all mixed in there. You also can add green peppers to this, and they're pretty good, but my wife doesn't love them, so I'm gonna leave them out. The next thing we're gonna do actually is take all of our dry and wet ingredients here. We are going to put them in this pot, and we're gonna bring that to a boil. We are going to whisk that all around so it's all nice and mixed up. Once it feels like that's all pretty mixed up well, you're just going to leave this on high and bring it to a boil. You can see it's just starting to boil around the edges, so we are almost there. You can see we got a nice little boil going now, so I think that is hot enough. So now what we're going to do is take this and dump it into our container with our cucumbers and onions. We are just going to take this and dump this right over the top. So, you'll see instantly, we have a bit of a problem. You want everything to be covered. So, what I'm going to actually have to do is probably do another, I don't know, 1.5 cups of vinegar, add some more of the wet and dry ingredients, and just whip up a small batch of the liquid and fill this up. The reason it didn't fill all the way to the top actually is just because of the size of the container it's in. Most containers, it will probably be just fine, but I whipped up another batch of liquid real quick, and you're gonna see just like that. That's exactly what we want. But what you're gonna do actually is put this in the refrigerator, and then once a day for 5 days, just go in and like give this a stir, like mix everything up. After 5 days, this is gonna be ready to eat. And here's one of my favorite parts about this. Just put this in jars, or you can even leave it right here in this container. You don't have to seal it, you don't have to can it, and this will stay good for 9 months in the refrigerator. Absolutely delicious. So that is Great Grandma Legs refrigerator bread and butter sweet pickle recipe. What we do is we actually put them in jars, you'll see, just like this, and then they are ready to go. I hope you guys love it. Tell me in the comments below, if you try this recipe, tell me what you think. If you like bread and butter pickles, I think you are gonna love these.